Welcome to Variant Zero Issue, where we talk about new characters and new storylines. Marvel was kind enough to send me an advanced copy of Civil War II Issue 1. However, I wasn't allowed to share my thoughts on it until today. And I have to tell you, I really enjoyed it. But before I go any further, my review is going to have a lot of spoilers for this issue. So if you haven't read it yet, this is your spoiler warning. The issue starts off with a guy named Ulysses, who's running through the woods frantically, but he eventually is stopped by the Inhumans, who say they can help. Don't worry, we find out what this means later on in the issue. Flash forward 2 weeks later, we're in Manhattan with Spider-Man, Captain America, Nova, and Miss Marvel, who are all fighting this huge celestial type being. After a few jokes from some of the heroes saying, "I hope this plan works," they are joined by a massive portion of Marvel heroes. And I'm talking about massive. Just look at this splash page. You have Thor, Peter Parker Spider-Man, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Vision, War Machine, Deadpool, Medusa, Black Panther, Hawkeye, and I can keep going. Anyway, all the heroes combine to beat this huge entity and go back to celebrate at Stark Tower. After Tony makes a toast thanking the Inhumans for making this win happen, She-Hulk and Captain Marvel ask Medusa how she knew all this was going down. She then introduces them to Ulysses, who explains he just recently found out he was an Inhuman when the Terrigen Mist hit his college. For those of you who don't know what the Terrigen Mist is, it's a vapor which can alter inhuman biology. There's more to it, but that's the short and sweet version. Long story short, Ulysses is able to see the future, and Captain Marvel thinks this is awesome and wants to use this to her advantage. So her and her team can stop threats before they get out of hand, like the one they faced in the beginning of this issue. But Tony, on the other hand, isn't about this. He basically raises the question, how do you lock someone up for a crime or act they haven't committed yet? Along with just being overall skeptical with trusting this Ulysses guy. The issue closes out with Captain Marvel and the Ultimates fighting Thanos without telling Tony. They do this because Ulysses warns them he's up to no good. Which of course Tony then finds out and blames Captain Marvel, and tells her, "I warned you something like this would happen." But that's not all. She-Hulk is also severely injured during the battle with Thanos, and dies at the end of the issue. Talk about running out the gate. By the very end of the issue, an extremely pissed off Iron Man takes off to make sure none of them ever play God again. What that means exactly, we'll have to wait for issue 2 to find out. Now, with all that said, I know what a lot of you are thinking. This storyline is basically just Minority Report meets Marvel. And truthfully speaking, yes, it is. But that doesn't take away how much I like this first issue. It's going to be really fun to see how the Marvel Universe deals with, for lack of a better term, pre-crime. The whole idea of being able to see into the future and stop acts of violence or crimes before they happen, or whether you should or shouldn't stop them before they happen, is a fascinating topic to me. And this first issue did a great job of setting up that story and conflict. By the end of the issue, you definitely want to see what's going to happen next. At least I did. In summary, I was skeptical about a sequel for Civil War, especially since the first one was so dang good. But I gotta say, it's very interesting thus far, and it's written really well. Which is not shocking considering the writer is Brian Michael Bendis, who's amazing. So am I gonna continue reading this series? Yes I am, and I recommend that you guys pick up a copy if you haven't already. Also, let me know in the comments section whether you're Team Iron Man, who's against this whole stopping crimes before they happen thing, or if you're Team Captain Marvel, who wants to use this Inhuman as an advantage to keep disasters and crimes from happening.